Molten lava, glowing red in the darkness, spilling from the Halemaumau crater erupts. On March 4, 2025, Kīlauea entered its 12th eruption phase since late 2024. Beneath the ash-covered ground, the Nēnē struggles to find food among the freshly formed volcanic rock. The ohia tree, known for its ability to thrive on lava fields, now faces increasing pressure from invasive plant species as the environment changes. Hawaiʻi Volcanoes, a land born from Kīlauea's lava, constantly reshaping itself for over 300,000 years. But with change happening at an unprecedented pace, how much longer can native species endure in this fiery landscape? Before we search for answers, tell us, where are you watching from? Drop a comment below. And now, it's time. Welcome to Hawaii's Volcanoes, battles for existence in the Land of Molten Earth. Lava erupts more than 50 meters into the sky from the Halemaumau crater. Waves of sulfur dioxide rise into the atmosphere, releasing over 10,000 tons of gas each day, forming a thick fog that blankets Hawaii. Beneath these toxic clouds, life struggles to endure. On the scorching volcanic rock, Hawaiian honeycreepers search desperately for nectar. The once thriving rainforests, once a paradise for native birds, now grow quieter with each passing day. At the peak of Mauna Loa, thick snow blankets the summit, a stark contrast to the seething lava flows below. Navigating the rugged lava fields, the Nēnē treads carefully, its partially webbed feet an adaptation to this unforgiving terrain. Beyond the shore, reef manta rays act as massive filters, swallowing millions of plankton with every mouthful. Meanwhile, the tiger shark circles patiently. Its target, the green sea turtle, which has journeyed thousands of miles across the ocean to nest in Hawaii. But with warming waters, their feeding grounds are shrinking, and survival is becoming even more challenging. Hawaiʻi Volcanoes, a place where paradise and raw power collide. New land is forged from fire, but at a cost to the creatures adapting to its ever-changing landscape. Nature continuously reshapes itself, and the struggle for survival never ends. In this race, only the strongest will carve their stories into the flowing lava, leaving their mark on the land reborn. A world set apart in the vast Pacific, more than 2,000 miles from the nearest continent, Hawaiʻi Volcanoes stands as the most geographically isolated island chain on Earth. This is a land in constant transformation, shaped by millions of years of relentless volcanic eruptions. Here, fire meets the ocean, where new land emerges before your eyes, creating one of the most rugged and mesmerizing landscapes on the planet. On Hawaii Island, Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park spans an area of 523 square miles, nearly the size of the island of Oahu. From the rugged coastline to mountain summits towering over 13,000 feet, this park is one of the most geologically active regions on the planet. The park's ecosystems are sustained by two volcanic giants, Kīlauea and Mauna Loa. Their lava flows have shaped Hawaii Island, transforming the ocean into land and steadily expanding the largest island in the Hawaiian archipelago. Kīlauea, one of the most active volcanoes on Earth, has continuously erupted for centuries. One of its vents erupted for 35 consecutive years, starting in 1983, producing lava flows up to 750 feet deep, burying an entire coastal road beneath more than 100 feet of hardened rock. Rivers of molten lava surge toward the ocean, sending towering plumes of steam skyward as they meet the cold water, a never-ending clash between fire and sea. Not far away, Mauna Loa rises toward the sky. It is the largest volcano in the world when measured from its base on the ocean floor, towering to a total height of 56,000 feet, making it even larger than Mount Everest. Mauna Loa's lava has flowed through valleys, forming an intricate network of hardened rock that now covers more than half of Hawaii Island. For hundreds of thousands of years, its eruptions have expanded its reach, shaping a unique ecosystem where life must struggle to survive. At its towering summit, Mauna Loa sometimes wears a cloak of snow, creating an astonishing contrast. A tropical volcano capped in white, standing just a few miles from sun-drenched beaches. Few places on Earth offer such a surreal experience, where one can stand amid the snow and gaze down at vibrant coral reefs in the distance. The dramatic shifts in temperature across the park's diverse climates have given rise to one of the most ecologically diverse environments on the planet, where lava deserts, tropical rainforests, and alpine tundra coexist. Beyond its breathtaking landscapes, Hawaiʻi Volcanoes serves as a living laboratory for scientists. Studies of Kīlauea and Mauna Loa provide critical data on the movement of Earth's crust. The flowing lava not only expands the island's landmass, but also offers insight into how Earth continuously regenerates itself. Beneath the surface, underground lava flows carve out massive lava tube systems where intense heat and pressure transform the geological environment in ways never seen before. This land is never at rest. Kīlauea and Mauna Loa continue to erupt, layering the earth with fresh rock and reshaping the landscape each day. The relentless transformation of these volcanoes has sculpted a terrain unlike anywhere else on Earth. Glassy black lava fields stretch to the ocean's edge, where waves crash against the newly formed coastline. Tropical forests cling to ancient lava flows, standing resilient against the relentless sea winds. Ash-covered deserts sprawl across the landscape, ruled by scorching heat by day and bitter cold by night. Higher up, dense rainforests give way to wind-swept alpine grasslands, which then fade into the icy tundra of the towering summits, where the peaks rise to meet the clouds. The climate here shifts with every step. At the base of the mountains, warm, humid air nurtures lush tropical rainforests. Sudden showers sweep in from the ocean, refreshing the air and breathing new life into the dense vegetation. Higher up, humidity begins to fade. Trees grow sparse, giving way to plants adapted to the dry, harsh conditions. At night, temperatures can plummet to freezing levels. In winter, Mauna Loa's summit is draped in snow, covering its dark volcanic landscape in a frozen white blanket. Geographic isolation has given rise to a unique ecosystem. More than 2,000 miles from the nearest continent, the Hawaiian Islands stand as a world of their own, where life has evolved in near-total seclusion. Over 90% of the native plants and animals found on land exist nowhere else on Earth, a level of endemism higher than even the Galapagos Islands. For over 70 million years, life has continuously adapted to the ever-changing volcanic environment. Newly formed lava fields create an extreme landscape, where daytime temperatures soar under the relentless sun. No soil, no water, only toxic volcanic gases rising from cracks in the earth. And yet even here, life finds a way. Over centuries, new life begins to emerge. Hundreds of plant species take root in the cracks of hardened lava, anchoring themselves with strong, resilient roots. Native animals find refuge among the rocky terrain, sheltering from the harsh tropical sun. Dense forests rise from ancient lava fields, becoming home to thousands of species, from insects and birds to small mammals. Lava flows do not just destroy, they also give birth to new life. But how long does it take for a forest to grow back on volcanic rock? Along the cooled lava flows of Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, life quietly rises in a land where survival seems impossible. The volcanoes continue to erupt, constantly reshaping the landscape, but the wildlife here has evolved over millions of years to adapt to these harsh conditions. Among the dense forests that have grown from ancient lava, between the steam rising from cracks in the earth, hundreds of native species have found ways to survive in this ever-changing environment. The first pioneer species appeared on the scorching rock, finding ways to survive on the scarce resources available. Ocean winds carried organic dust particles, becoming the first source of nutrients for the new ecosystem. Small insects, such as the lava cricket, were the first pioneers, clinging to the black rock and feeding on any bits of plant matter brought in by the wind. The isolation of the Hawaiian archipelago has made this a separate world, where many common animal groups from the continents never had the chance to arrive. Most native species are descendants of creatures that made it to the islands by flying across the ocean, being carried by the wind, or drifting on floating vegetation. Birds, bats, insects, and certain invertebrates found an opportunity to thrive. The most adaptable species reproduced over thousands of generations, changing to suit this remote volcanic land. Among all the animals, only one species of native land mammal exists here. Others, such as bats, use their ability to fly to cross the ocean, finding shelter in ancient lava tubes and beneath the forest canopy. Their descendants continue to reproduce, developing unique traits to survive in this isolated archipelago. Some species evolved into efficient predators in the wild, while others relied on unique survival strategies to avoid threats. Newly cooled lava creates a barren landscape, but it also opens up new opportunities for the first small pioneers to arrive. They are the first to claim new land, using organic dust carried by the wind from the ocean, slowly establishing the foundation of a new ecosystem. On the seemingly barren, solid rock, where life should struggle to take hold, the first seedlings emerge, marking the beginning of a millennia-long cycle of renewal. The Hawaiian Islands have become a unique stage for evolution, where plants have flourished without competition from mammalian herbivores. As a result, over 90% of the state's native plant species exist only here, a level of endemism that surpasses any other place on Earth. In an environment free of grazing mammals, many plants have evolved in unusual ways. Some species of mint have lost their distinctive scent. Nettle plants have shed their once prickly defenses. Without the pressure of predators, These plants have adapted to their surroundings in ways unlike anywhere else in the world. Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park protects the descendants of the first pioneers, the resilient survivors that took root on new lava fields. One of the hardiest species is the Ohia lehua. Covering 80% of Hawaii's native forests, this tree is among the first to reclaim land after an eruption. Its roots push deep into the tiniest cracks in the hardened lava, searching for moisture and nutrients from the smallest bits of organic debris. When volcanic gases fill the air, Ohia lehua can hold its breath by closing its leaf pores, minimizing exposure to the harsh conditions. For the native Hawaiians, this tree has long been a symbol of strength, perseverance, and love. Its vibrant flowers, ranging from deep red to bright yellow, are not only a crucial food source for native birds, but also an essential element in traditional ceremonies. Beneath the canopy of Ohia lehua, giant hapu'u ferns rise from the misty rainforests, forming a rich and complex ecosystem. Along coastal lava plains, ferns grow in solitude from cracks in hardened lava, braving the relentless ocean winds. At higher elevations, where the air turns cold and the terrain becomes dry and unforgiving, the Mauna Loa silversword clings to the rocky slopes, enduring some of the most extreme weather on the islands. Today, the park is home to 23 federally listed threatened or endangered vascular plant species, including 15 species of native trees. Hawaii's Ohia forests are under threat from a devastating fungal disease known as rapid Ohia death, which has killed hundreds of thousands of trees in recent years. Conservation efforts are underway to control the spread of the disease and restore Hawaii's native rainforest ecosystems. Across the mountains, valleys, and lava plains, plants continue to hold their ground. Their survival is not only a testament to resilience, but also a symbol of nature's unending cycle. A volcanic eruption may wipe out an entire forest, reducing it to bare rock. Yet, in the smallest cracks of new lava, seeds begin to sprout once more, preparing for a new era of regeneration, just as they have for millions of years. The sun rises above the horizon, its soft light gradually spreading across the vast volcanic slopes of Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park. This is one of the oldest nature reserves in the United States. Established on August 1st, 1916, under President Woodrow Wilson, the park was created to protect both its extraordinary volcanic landscapes and the cultural heritage of native Hawaiians. Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park not only preserves geological wonders, but also serves as a sanctuary for one of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth. With an endemism rate of 90%, exceeding even that of the Galapagos Islands, Hawaii is one of the planet's most important biodiversity hotspots. The park's ecosystem spans 7 distinct ecological zones, each with its unique characteristics. This incredible diversity transforms the park into a living tapestry of nature, where the harsh forces of volcanic activity and the delicate persistence of life intertwine. The coastal zone, with its black sand beaches where waves relentlessly crash against hardened lava cliffs. The lowland forests are rich in plant life, where native birds still sing among the canopy. The dense rainforests, nourished by tropical downpours, are home to a wealth of endemic flora and fauna. The alpine tundra, where snow can fall atop a tropical island. Beyond its role in natural conservation, the park also safeguards the precious cultural heritage of native Hawaiians. Over 1,500 years ago, the first settlers arrived, learning to survive and thrive in this volcanic land. Traces of their presence still dot the landscape, from petroglyph carvings to the ancient footpaths they once walked. The deep connection between people and nature here is not just a relic of the past. It continues to shape how modern Hawaiians protect and honor the legacy of their ancestors. Beneath the dark lava fields of Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, a hidden world exists, one where sunlight never reaches. This is where lava tubes, formed over thousands of years, create an underground labyrinth stretching more than 40 miles from Kīlauea, with sections plunging as deep as 3,600 feet. As lava flows down from the volcano's summit, the outer layer cools and solidifies upon contact with air, while the molten core inside continues to move. When the lava supply runs dry, the interior gradually hollows out, leaving behind massive underground passageways stretching beneath the surface. The environment inside lava tubes is vastly different from the world above. There is no light, no vegetation, only darkness, high humidity, and absolute silence. Cool air seeps through the lava walls, while condensed water drips from the cave ceiling, creating a rare moisture cycle in this underground realm. These extreme conditions have given rise to a one-of-a-kind ecosystem where only the most highly adapted species can survive. Within the eternal darkness, strange creatures have evolved to thrive in these extreme conditions. One such species is the lava tube spider, a blind arachnid that spends its entire life in pitch blackness. Its ghostly white exoskeleton reflects the dim light of researchers' flashlights, giving it an otherworldly appearance, as if it belongs to a different realm. It spins delicate webs in the lava tubes, patiently waiting for tiny cave-dwelling insects to wander into its trap. Beyond the lava tube spider, these caves are home to a variety of endemic insects and microorganisms. In an environment devoid of sunlight and nutrients, some bacteria have evolved the ability to extract minerals from volcanic rock, a process that could help scientists understand the potential for life on other planets. Tiny insects, many of which remain unresearched, move silently in the darkness, making use of the scarce resources available in this extreme world. Above the lava tubes, massive volcanic craters mark the remnants of ancient eruptions. These craters are in constant flux, sometimes holding a bubbling lava lake, other times filled only with rising sulfuric steam escaping from deep within the earth. As lava shifts below the surface, the crater's landscape transforms accordingly, serving as a visual reminder of the Earth's raw power. Not far from these craters, Thurston Lava Tube, also known as Nahuku, stands as one of the park's most famous lava tubes. Formed around 500 years ago, it is one of the few lava tubes that visitors can enter and explore firsthand. The high, arched ceiling and cracked rock formations bear witness to ancient lava flows that once rushed through these tunnels. Inside, the cool, damp air is a stark contrast to the dry heat outside, creating the sensation of stepping into an entirely different world. As lava continues to flow, forging new lava tubes, this process unfolds endlessly, writing new chapters in the evolutionary story of life. And as time moves forward, creatures of the darkness continue to adapt, maintaining their mysterious presence deep within Hawaii's active volcanic landscape. Do you think humans could live on freshly formed lava fields? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know why. Unlike typical caterpillars that feed on leaves, Hawaii's carnivorous caterpillar is a remarkable evolutionary anomaly. It is one of the few predatory caterpillars in the world. Among the 19 species of Eupathecia moths found in Hawaii, an astonishing 18 species develop carnivorous tendencies in their caterpillar stage. Sensory hairs on the rear of their bodies function as a biological radar system. When an unsuspecting insect makes contact, the caterpillar reacts in a split second. It lunges forward, using sharp, claw-like appendages at the front of its body to seize its prey, making escape nearly impossible. Its life cycle follows the familiar transformation of caterpillars. Once fully grown, it spins a cocoon, undergoes metamorphosis, and eventually emerges as an adult Eupathecia moth. But even in its final form, its life is fleeting, just long enough to reproduce and begin the cycle anew. Powerful Pacific winds sweep across the skies of Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, carrying silent shadows drifting overhead. These are the great frigate birds, known to native Hawaiians as ʻIʻiwi, seabirds with immense wingspans and an extraordinary ability to soar. During the breeding season, male great frigate birds attract mates with their brilliant red throat pouches. As the season begins, they inflate these pouches into large, balloon-like displays, creating an impressive spectacle against the blue sky. Once a pair bonds, they remain faithful throughout the breeding season, working together to raise their young. Uniquely, frigate bird chicks rely on their parents for an unusually long time, sometimes up to a year, before they can survive on their own. It's no coincidence that, in the Hawaiian language, ʻIʻiwi means thief. Unlike other seabirds, such as albatrosses or terns, frigate birds lack oil glands to keep their feathers waterproof. They can fly up to 50 miles in search of food, but if their bodies touch the water, their wide wings become useless, leaving them vulnerable to drowning. To compensate for this weakness, frigate birds hunt in a completely different way, by stealing from other birds. When they spot a tern or booby carrying a fresh catch, they dive at high speed, launching relentless aerial chases. With razor-sharp claws and a powerful hooked beak, they harass their targets, forcing them to drop their food in panic. Within seconds, the stolen meal lands in the ʻIʻiwi's mouth, and it continues its journey without ever needing to dive for a catch. As darkness gently falls over Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, the sun sets behind the Ohia Lehua forests. Along the quiet waters, a silent hunter begins its nightly journey. The Black-Crowned Night Heron, known in Hawaiian as ʻAuku'u, moves slowly through the shallow waters, its piercing red eyes glowing in the fading light. That hunt during the day, this mysterious bird is a true nocturnal predator, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This species belongs to the Ardeidae family, a group of water birds that evolved millions of years ago. Their ancestors first appeared during the Eocene epoch, adapting to a variety of wetland environments, from mangroves to inland lakes. The black-crowned night heron is one of the few heron species with a global range, found across Asia, Africa, and the Americas, as well as on the Hawaiian Islands. Despite living in a volcanic landscape, they thrive by making use of freshwater marshes, estuaries, and even artificial ponds to hunt. Within Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, they are commonly found near shallow waters and dense forest edges, where prey is abundant. Surveys conducted between 1983 and 2003 estimated their population at around 400 individuals across the Hawaiian Islands, though the actual number may be higher as they inhabit a wide range of ecosystems. Their adaptability has allowed them to maintain stable numbers, even as their environment changes. The black-crowned night heron has a sturdy build, standing about 2 feet tall. Its grey body, with a sleek black crown and back, makes it easily distinguishable from other herons. Its glowing red eyes, like embers in the night, allow it to see clearly in low-light conditions. During the breeding season, long white plumes extend from the back of its head, giving it an elegant yet commanding appearance. Its diet is highly diverse, consisting of fish, frogs, crustaceans, insects, and even small birds. Their hunting skills are particularly effective in Hawaii's rich biodiversity, where a wide range of prey species provides ample food sources. The hunting strategy of this bird is a perfect example of patience. Instead of chasing prey, it remains motionless for hours, moving only when an unsuspecting creature enters its strike zone. With a rapid, precise lunge, it captures its prey using its sharp, dagger-like beak. More than just a solitary predator, the black-crowned night heron plays a vital role in freshwater and coastal ecosystems. By controlling populations of small fish and aquatic animals, they help maintain ecological balance. Additionally, their presence serves as an indicator of water quality. Any disruptions in the food chain directly affect their population, making them a key species in monitoring ecosystem health. The Hawaiian people believe that the destructive and creative power of fire is not merely a natural phenomenon, it is deeply connected to Pele. Pele, the goddess of volcanoes, is one of the most powerful and sacred deities in Hawaiian mythology. For native Hawaiians, every volcanic eruption is a manifestation of Pele, a sign of either her wrath or her mercy upon humanity. According to legend, Pele is the daughter of Earth Mother, Papa, and Sky Father, Wakea. She left her homeland in the sacred land of Kahiki, crossing the ocean to the Hawaiian Islands in search of her final resting place. During her journey, she created volcanoes by digging deep into the earth, eventually choosing Halema Uma'u crater on Kīlauea as her home. Since then, this crater has been regarded as the spiritual heart of Hawaii's volcanoes, where boiling lava is the breath of Pele, and rising volcanic steam is a sign of her presence. Even as the modern world evolves, Pele's influence remains strong in Hawaiian culture today. Her name is honored in traditional ceremonies, hula competitions, and chants recounting her journey across the islands. Many locals still leave offerings at Halema Uma'u crater, seeking the goddess's protection. Whenever Kīlauea awakens, sending fresh lava across the land, the Hawaiian people do not see it as a disaster, but rather as a reminder that their homeland is still being shaped by the unseen hand of Pele. For native Hawaiians, every volcano, lava flow, and even the heat rising from the earth is a manifestation of the divine. Across the islands, Pele's legacy is preserved in chants, oral traditions passed down for generations, and petroglyphs over 500 years old. These ancient carvings do more than honor Pele. They reflect the deep connection between humans and nature. Hawaiian tradition holds that anyone who removes a rock from Pele's land will face her wrath. Even today, many visitors return lava stones they once took after experiencing misfortune in their lives. For centuries, the Hawaiian people have lived in harmony with nature, understanding that fire's power is not just about destruction. It also creates new opportunities for rebirth. Once lava cools, it becomes fertile land, where pioneer plants like ʻOhialehua take root, marking the beginning of a new cycle. The sun continues to shine over Hawaiʻi volcanoes, but its rays grow increasingly intense as they reach the arid expanse of the Kau Desert. No lush rainforests, no green vegetation clinging to ancient lava, only barren rock and dry earth, with a few solitary plants managing to survive. The landscape here is unforgiving, as if time has stopped, leaving no trace of life-giving rains. The sky is crystal clear, without a single cloud. The air is so dry that each breath seems to drain away the body's remaining moisture. Rainfall in this region is astonishingly low, averaging only 10 inches per year, far less than other areas of the park. Under such conditions, only the most resilient plants and animals can endure. Some shrubs have evolved water-saving strategies, with small, wax-coated leaves that minimize evaporation. Others grow low to the ground, their deep roots penetrating the smallest cracks in ancient lava, searching for even the slightest traces of moisture. This stark landscape contrasts dramatically with the thriving rainforests just a few miles away, where plants flourish under constant humidity. Temperatures in the Kau Desert fluctuate drastically between day and night. During the day, the sun-heated ground pushes temperatures to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. At night, the heat rapidly dissipates, dropping as low as 50 degrees Fahrenheit. This extreme variation forces most animals to become nocturnal, venturing out only when the air cools and water loss is minimized. Insects and reptiles hide in crevices or beneath hardened soil to escape the heat. Some small animals are most active at dawn and dusk, taking advantage of mild temperatures. Though it appears desolate, the Kau Desert is still part of a living ecosystem. The plants and animals here have evolved over millennia to survive some of the harshest conditions on Earth. After rare rainfalls, wildflowers briefly bloom, adding bursts of color to the rocky terrain, a fleeting but vibrant spectacle. Strong winds whip through the desert, carrying dust and volcanic ash, sculpting the rocks into unusual formations. Ancient lava flows, cooled for thousands of years, lie motionless, yet their surfaces are anything but smooth. Cracks and tiny crevices serve as hidden shelters for small, resilient creatures and survivors of this harsh world. Life in the Kau Desert may not be as abundant as in other parts of the park, but the adaptations of its inhabitants are a powerful testament to evolution. Small but persistent, these organisms have endured cycles of drought and climate shifts, continuing to sustain an ecosystem in a place where few expect life to persist. Recent studies suggest that some native plants are gradually adapting better to drought, a subtle but ongoing sign of evolution, moving forward at a pace too slow for humans to perceive. Nēnē, the native goose of Hawaii, stands as a symbol of perseverance and adaptation in an unforgiving landscape. At least 7 different species of geese once evolved across the Hawaiian Islands, but most vanished following human arrival. Only Nēnē remains, the last surviving goose, carrying the legacy of a lineage that once ruled the skies and land of this volcanic archipelago. When Captain James Cook arrived in Hawaii in 1778, an estimated 25,000 Nēnē roamed the islands. By the mid-20th century, their numbers had plummeted to around 50. Human-driven changes disrupted their delicate balance with nature. Introduced predators such as mongooses, feral cats and dogs preyed on both adult Nēnē and their vulnerable young. Habitat loss, caused by the expansion of agriculture, along with competition for food from livestock, goats and pigs, accelerated their decline. Hunting, though eventually restricted, also played a role in the species' near collapse. Unlike most geese, which have fully webbed feet adapted for swimming, Nēnē has only partially webbed feet, allowing them to navigate rugged volcanic terrain with ease. Their long legs and sharp claws help them grip slippery surfaces and climb steep slopes. Although they retain the ability to fly, they spend most of their time walking and foraging for food among the sparse vegetation that grows on volcanic plains. With a diet consisting primarily of leaves, seeds, fruits and flowers from native plants, Nēnē plays a vital role in dispersing seeds, helping plant life take root on fresh lava fields. The molten rivers of Kīlauea finally meet the ocean, creating a towering cloud of steam where fire and water merge. Along the shorelines of Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, stretches of black sand beaches form, born from the shattering of basalt rock as lava cools in the salty waters. These beaches are not merely the end of the land, but rather a gateway to an entirely different world, the ocean ecosystem that surrounds the Hawaiian Islands, teeming with astonishing biodiversity. Beneath the surface, countless marine creatures have adapted to the harsh conditions of these coastal waters. Though Hawaii's coral reefs are not as vast as those in other tropical regions, they provide essential habitats for a wide array of fish and invertebrates. The constant pounding waves create an ever-turbulent zone where only organisms with specialized adaptations can thrive. Clinging tightly to coastal rock faces, ʻOpihi, small but resilient limpets, have survived for millennia by adapting to the constant shifts of the tides. Their large, suction-like foot allows them to anchor firmly to the rugged rock, withstanding even the fiercest waves. ʻAlinalina, or yellow-footed ʻOpihi, inhabits the lower tidal zone, where the ocean almost always covers them. Makaiauli, or black-footed ʻOpihi, lives higher up, only exposed to the strongest waves. For hundreds of years, native Hawaiians have harvested ʻOpihi as a traditional food source, yet their precarious grip on slippery rock faces makes gathering them one of the most dangerous tasks. When ʻOpihi sense a shadow overhead, they instinctively clamp down harder, making them nearly impossible to pry off, even for the most experienced harvesters. Not far from the rocky outcrops where ʻOpihi cling, ʻAhama, or rock crabs, move stealthily through the crevices. With their jet-black shells, these crabs appear almost invisible against the dark volcanic stone. But when they scurry in groups, they create the illusion of the entire shoreline shifting. For generations, Hawaiians have used ʻAhama as food and bait, reflecting the deep connection between humans and the sea. Beneath the waves, the battle for survival continues. Haukayuk, or helmet urchins, stands apart from most sea urchins. Instead of long, sharp spines, they possess a solid dome-shaped shell, allowing them to endure the relentless impact of crashing waves. Their hardy purple shells are often found along Puna's coastline, gripping the rocks like gemstones of the ocean. The waters surrounding Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park are among the harshest marine environments, yet they support some of the most remarkable ecosystems. Waves constantly erode the rocky shores. New lava flows create beaches that never existed before. But life always finds a way, adapting, persisting, and thriving in this ever-changing world. Beneath the ocean near Hawaiʻi Volcanoes, where fiery lava from Kīlauea plunges into the sea, a remarkable process unfolds. As lava meets water, violent explosions occur, releasing a wealth of minerals into the ocean currents. These minerals fuel the base of the marine food web, triggering plankton blooms, a foundation of oceanic life. These tiny, nearly invisible organisms serve as the building blocks of the marine food chain. As they multiply, they not only attract schools of small fish, but also set the stage for some of the ocean's largest creatures. Amid the nutrient-rich waters, one of the largest fish species on Earth moves with effortless grace, the reef manta ray. The reef manta ray is among the largest rays in the world, with a wingspan of up to 14 feet, allowing it to glide through the water like a giant phantom. It has existed for millions of years, perfectly adapting to a life of filter feeding. Beyond its sheer size, the reef manta ray possesses the largest brain of any fish species. Recent studies suggest that it has self-awareness, a trait found only in highly intelligent animals like dolphins, elephants, and primates. When placed in front of a mirror, manta rays exhibit curiosity and even recognition behaviors, something most fish are incapable of doing. Their social behavior is also remarkably complex. They do not live in solitary isolation, but often travel in groups, sometimes coordinating to find food. They create whirlpools in the water to concentrate plankton, making feeding more efficient. Unlike sharks or other predators, they do not rely on speed or sharp teeth. Instead, they use a simple yet highly effective method. They open their enormous mouths and swim through plankton-rich waters. Tiny gill rakers act as natural filters, allowing them to trap and consume millions of plankton every day. Their habitat spans tropical and subtropical waters worldwide. In Hawaii, they are often found near coastal coral reefs and nutrient-rich currents. They frequent cleaning stations, where small fish remove parasites from their bodies. This behavior not only maintains their health, but also fosters a complex ecological relationship among marine species. The reproductive cycle of manta rays remains shrouded in mystery. Unlike most fish, reef manta rays do not lay eggs, but give birth to live young. The embryos develop inside the mother, receiving nutrients from a specialized uterine secretion, rather than a traditional placenta. After a 12 to 13-month gestation period, the mother gives birth to a single pup, measuring about 4.6 feet wide and weighing around 20 pounds. Newborn manta rays are immediately capable of swimming and feeding, but often stay close to their mothers for their first few months. Despite their massive size, manta rays still face significant threats from humans. Overfishing, habitat destruction, and coral reef decline have pushed them toward vulnerability. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, currently classifies them as vulnerable, with populations declining in many regions. In Hawaii, conservation efforts are actively protecting these majestic rays. Marine reserves have been established to limit fishing activities and reduce human impact on their habitats. Scientists continue to study their behavior and migration patterns, aiming to develop more effective conservation strategies. Beneath the deep blue waters, giant silhouettes move gracefully, embarking on a journey spanning thousands of miles. These are the humpback whales, known in Hawaiian as kohola, one of the most magnificent creatures ever to roam the ocean. Each year, thousands of them leave the cold waters of Alaska, traveling more than 3,000 miles south to reach the warm seas of Hawaii. Once land-dwelling mammals, the ancestors of kohola evolved to thrive in the ocean, transforming into the giants of the sea. They can grow up to 50 feet in length and weigh as much as 40 tons. Their pectoral fins, the longest of any whale species, reaching up to 16 feet, allow them to perform spectacular acrobatics at the surface. Beyond aiding movement, these dramatic displays serve as a form of communication, whether to attract mates or warn others of danger. In Hawaii, they do not hunt, but instead focus entirely on breeding and raising their young. It is the only place in the US where humpback whales give birth, making these waters one of the most critical breeding grounds for the species. As they approach the shallow coastal waters, expectant mothers prepare for one of the most significant events of their lives, giving birth. They seek protected areas with depths of less than 600 feet, providing a safer environment for their calves, away from deep water predators. During the winter months, nearly half of the North Pacific humpback whale population gathers in Hawaii, turning these waters into a massive nursery and breeding sanctuary. But this migration is not easy. Mother kohola fast for months, relying on their blubber reserves from the summer feeding season in the Arctic to sustain them. They may lose up to 40% of their body weight during this time. Every ounce of energy is devoted to nurturing their calves. Newborn kohola is about 13 to 16 feet long and weighs over 2,000 pounds. They consume up to 100 gallons of milk per day, growing rapidly in preparation for their journey back to Alaska in late spring. When faced with threats, kohola employs unique defensive strategies. Their massive pectoral fins are not just for movement, they can also serve as powerful weapons when needed. Mother whales often position their calves in the center of a protective circle, where other adult whales can help shield them. Sensing danger, they slam their tails against the water, creating powerful shock waves that slow down potential predators. The role of humpback whales in the marine ecosystem is irreplaceable. As they dive into deep waters to feed, they transport nutrients from the ocean floor back to the surface, driving an essential nutrient cycle for the marine food web. Their presence stimulates plankton growth and supports smaller fish species, influencing the oceanic food chain in ways that are still not fully understood. Once pushed to the brink of extinction due to commercial whaling in the 20th century, humpback whale populations have rebounded thanks to strict conservation efforts. Today, an estimated 80,000 individuals exist worldwide, with approximately 12,000 migrating to Hawaii each year. Conservation efforts in Hawaii continue to protect these gentle giants from new threats. The Hawaiian Islands Humpback Whale National Marine Sanctuary was established to monitor populations and implement measures to safeguard their habitat. Scientists are actively studying their migration patterns and breeding behaviors, aiming to develop more effective conservation policies for the future. On a remote sandy shore, the heavy form of a Hawaiian monk seal drags itself from the ocean, leaving deep imprints on the smooth sand. The Hawaiian monk seal, known as ʻIʻiwi Holo I Ka Uaua in Hawaiian, is one of the rarest endemic marine mammals on Earth. These secluded beaches of Hawaii are where they come to rest and give birth. Once an integral part of Hawaii's marine ecosystem, they play a crucial role in controlling bottom-dwelling species and maintaining balance within the oceanic food web. But today, they face severe threats. Climate change is shrinking their habitat, while invasive predators such as Galapagos sharks are increasing pressure on young pups. However, conservation efforts have shown positive signs. In 2023, over 170 pups were recorded at the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument, marking one of the most successful breeding seasons in over 2 decades. After a 10 to 11-month pregnancy, females give birth on sandy shores, usually between February and July. At birth, pups have sleek black fur, measuring around 3 feet in length, and weighing 25 to 35 pounds. For the first 5 to 6 weeks, the mother nurses her pup with rich, high-fat milk, allowing it to rapidly gain weight and develop the distinctive gray-brown coat of an adult seal. During this time, the mother does not eat, dedicating herself entirely to her pup before leaving it behind to return to the open ocean. From that point, the young seal must learn to hunt and survive in the challenging marine environment. As a mid-level predator, the Hawaiian monk seal primarily preys on small fish, squid, and crustaceans that live on the seafloor. They typically dive between 60 and 300 feet, though some have been recorded reaching depths of over 1,000 feet in search of more abundant prey. With highly sensitive whiskers, they can detect hidden prey buried under sand or rocks. Their large eyes help them see in the dim light of the deep ocean. They hunt mostly at night when crustaceans and small fish are most active. On the pristine beach, an old monk seal curls up in the warm sand, enjoying a rare moment of rest. The tracks in the sand will soon be erased by the waves, but their presence remains a testament to an ancient species fighting to survive. As the winter swells roll in, newborn pups will embark on their own struggle for survival, a cycle that continues in the endless rhythm of the ocean. Along the rocky shores of Hawaiʻi volcanoes, powerful waves crash against the coastline, leaving behind a frothy white foam. Amidst the whispering sea breeze, a wandering tattler emerges, navigating the wet crevices of volcanic rock. It is one of the Pacific's master migratory birds. In Hawaiian, it is called ʻUlili, a name that mimics its distinctive call as it soars along the shore. This species embarks on an astonishing migratory journey, stretching from the Arctic tundras of North America to the tropical coasts of the Pacific. Every year, around July, wandering tattlers leave Alaska and Canada, departing from their cold northern breeding grounds. They travel thousands of miles south to reach the warm shores of Hawaii, where they spend the winter months before returning to their nesting grounds in the spring. Within Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, wandering tattlers are not common, but can still be spotted along rocky beaches and shallow coastal waters. Unlike many birds that prefer marshes or calm waters, they are uniquely adapted to Hawaii's rugged volcanic shoreline, where waves crash relentlessly against the coast. Their gray plumage blends seamlessly with the basalt rocks, making them difficult to detect when standing still. One of their most recognizable traits is their constant tail bobbing, a behavior researchers believe helps them maintain balance on unstable surfaces. The wandering tattler has a straight, sharp beak, perfect for probing into rocky crevices and seaweed-covered stones in search of food. Its diet consists of insects, small crustaceans, mollusks, and occasionally tiny fish. They primarily hunt in shallow waters, using their sensitive beak to detect prey hiding among algae-covered rocks. During the breeding season, the wandering tattler's appearance undergoes a remarkable transformation. Dark horizontal barring emerges across its chest and belly, a stark contrast to its smooth gray underside during the winter months. Nesting takes place in the northern tundras, where females lay 3 to 4 eggs in a shallow ground nest, often near rivers or lakes. Once hatched, the chicks are highly independent, able to move within hours and quickly learning how to forage for food. As a long-distance migratory bird, the wandering tattler relies on its exceptional navigational abilities to traverse continents. It uses Earth's magnetic field, along with visual cues from the sun and stars, to guide its journey. Remarkably, these birds rarely stop during migration, traveling directly to their destination, showcasing an incredible adaptation to a constantly moving lifestyle. Beneath the moonlit waters, a silent figure emerges, moving slowly yet purposefully. The hawksbill sea turtle, known in Hawaiian as Honuʻea, is one of the rarest sea turtles in the world. With its sharp, hawk-like beak and overlapping, tile-like shell, it is an essential part of Hawaii's marine ecosystem. Unlike the more common green sea turtle, the hawksbill is smaller, weighing between 90 to 150 pounds and measuring 30 to 35 inches in shell length. Its compact size allows it to navigate through coral crevices where it searches for food. Though hawksbill turtles inhabit tropical waters worldwide, they are especially rare in Hawaii. Only a few beaches across the Hawaiian Islands serve as nesting grounds for this species. They have been observed nesting on Maui and Molokai, but their numbers remain critically low, with only a few dozen individuals nesting per year, making them the rarest sea turtle in the region. The nesting season begins in late May and lasts until December. On a quiet night, a mature female crawls onto the shore, leaving distinct tracks in the soft sand. She searches for a suitable nesting site near coastal vegetation, where the moisture levels are just right to protect her eggs from overheating. With her strong front flippers, she digs a shallow, bowl-shaped cavity, then gently lays an average of 140 eggs. Once finished, she covers the nest with sand, creating a natural protective layer, and then silently returns to the sea. She will never see her hatchlings emerge. After about 2 months, the eggs begin to crack, signaling the arrival of a new generation. Tiny hatchlings, just a few inches long, work together to dig their way to the surface. Sensing the cool temperature of the sand, they instinctively know night has fallen, the safest time to race toward the ocean. But even after reaching the water, the danger remains. Large fish, eels, and other predators lie in wait. Only 1 in 1,000 hatchlings will survive to adulthood. Hawksbill sea turtles play a crucial role in the marine ecosystem. They are among the few species that consume toxic sponges, preventing overgrowth on coral reefs. By cleaning the reefs, they help maintain ecological balance, allowing various fish and marine life to flourish. For centuries, native Hawaiians have revered Honuʻea as a sacred symbol, an integral part of their culture and mythology. Today, the hawksbill sea turtle is listed as critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, with global populations declining by nearly 80% over the past century. In Hawaii, conservation efforts focus on protecting nesting beaches, reducing artificial light pollution, and minimizing human impact on their habitat. Monitoring programs and hatchling release initiatives are also being implemented to increase their survival rates in their critical early years. Beneath the tranquil waters of Hawaii, the green sea turtle, or Honu, glides gracefully, a species deeply woven into the identity of these islands. With its large, streamlined body, an adult Honu can weigh between 240 and 420 pounds, though some exceptional individuals have reached 871 pounds. Its smooth olive-green shell, spanning 3 to 5 feet, is not just for beauty. Inside, its plant-based diet has transformed the fat beneath its skin, giving it a distinct green hue, the origin of its name, green sea turtle. Once numbering in the millions, the global population of Honu has now dwindled to an estimated 200,000 mature females. They have been hunted for their meat, eggs, and shells, while their nesting habitats have been shrinking due to coastal development. Ocean pollution, especially plastic waste and abandoned fishing nets, traps and injures countless turtles, often leading to fatal consequences. Listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, decades of conservation efforts have offered a glimmer of hope. Protecting nesting beaches, regulating fishing practices, and raising public awareness have contributed to gradual population recovery. Researchers are actively monitoring, tagging, and studying Honu's behaviors to better understand their migration routes and population dynamics. From the moment they hatch on sun-scorched beaches, the journey of a Honu is an odyssey spanning decades. Tiny, palm-sized hatchlings sprint toward the sea the moment they emerge, yet perils await at every turn. Only 1 in 1,000 will survive to adulthood. For the first 20 years, they drift along offshore currents, residing in deep ocean waters, returning to coastal feeding grounds only when they are large enough to forage safely around the Hawaiian Islands. Upon reaching maturity, Honu embarks on a grand migration, returning to the exact beaches where they were born to nest. This remarkable homing instinct is guided by Earth's magnetic field, acting as a biological compass ingrained in their DNA. Under the cover of night, females crawl ashore, leaving winding trails across the sand. With deliberate, tireless movements, they dig a deep nest, gently laying hundreds of eggs before covering them with sand. Then, they return to the sea, never to see their offspring again. After 2 months, the tiny eggs hatch beneath the moonlit sky. Guided by instinct, the hatchlings race toward the glowing reflection of the ocean. Yet, predators lurk. Birds, crabs, eels, and large fish lie in wait. As adults, Honu becomes vital to Hawaii's coastal ecosystem. They maintain reef health by grazing on limu algae and seagrass, preventing overgrowth that could choke coral habitats. Beyond their ecological role, Honu is a sacred symbol in Hawaiian culture. Legends describe them as protectors, embodying wisdom, longevity, and the deep connection between humans and the ocean. Yet, even adulthood does not guarantee safety. Beneath the calm Hawaiian waters, tiger sharks patrol, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But Honu is no easy prey. When threatened, it employs a simple yet effective defense, turning sideways, making itself too wide for a shark's jaws to clamp down. Drifting through ancient coral reefs, Honu continues its timeless journey, bearing witness to millions of years of change. And as another female turtle hauls herself onto the soft sands, preparing to lay the next generation, she perpetuates a tradition that has endured for countless millennia. An endless cycle of life and ocean, past and future intertwined. Amidst a land shaped by fire and stone, where lava continuously flows into the ocean, Hawaii's rainforests rise like a natural miracle. Upon the hardened lava, plants take root, reaching toward the sunlight, creating a lush, green world within a barren volcanic landscape. This is one of the most diverse ecosystems in Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, where native flora and fauna thrive, having adapted to both the harsh and resource-rich environment. The climate here is ever-changing, bringing both challenges and opportunities for life. Sudden rain showers descend from clouds clinging to the mountainsides, providing a steady water source for the forest's growth. With annual rainfall ranging from 80 to 200 inches, this region is among the wettest areas of the park. Humidity permeates the air, weaving through the forest canopy and forming thick morning mists. Beneath the layers of greenery, a rich web of life thrives, with each species playing its role in the forest's food chain. Roots anchor firmly into solidified lava, drawing moisture from the air to survive. Giant tree ferns like hapu'u rise through the mist, their massive fronds unfurling toward the sky. Smaller plants like ferns emerge from cracks in the rock, thriving in places where life seems impossible. Higher on the mountain slopes, the silvery blooms of Mauna Loa silver swords cling to the thin soil, enduring biting winds and freezing temperatures at elevations thousands of feet above sea level. These forests serve as sanctuaries for rare and unique creatures, many found only in the Hawaiian Islands. One of these is the Hawaiian happy face spider, named for its peculiar markings resembling smiling faces or scattered dots. Unlike most spiders that spin webs to capture prey, this species employs a unique hunting method, a lasso trap. It spins a short strand of silk, waiting patiently before snapping it shut the moment unsuspecting prey wanders too close. The first rays of sunlight pierce through the dense canopy of the Hawaiʻi Volcanoes rainforest, illuminating the brilliant red blossoms of the ʻOhia lehua. Amidst the morning glow, the scarlet honeycreeper, or ʻIʻiwi, one of Hawaii's most striking endemic birds, arrives to feed on its primary nectar source. Its sharp, curved beak is a specialized evolutionary adaptation, allowing it to reach deep into the ʻOhia lehua flowers for nectar. As it feeds, pollen clings to its head and neck, transferring from flower to flower and playing a crucial role in the tree's reproduction. Beyond its ecological significance, ʻIʻiwi holds deep cultural value in native Hawaiian traditions. Featherwork, cloaks, and helmets, sometimes made from hundreds of thousands of ʻIʻiwi feathers, symbolized power and prestige, reserved for chiefs and alii, Hawaiian nobility. These feathers were harvested using temporary trapping methods, after which the birds were released unharmed. However, with the arrival of Europeans, this practice disappeared, and the ʻIʻiwi gradually lost its once prominent cultural role. Before human arrival, ʻIʻiwi thrived across all major Hawaiian islands. Today, however, it is classified as a threatened species, with its population declining rapidly. These birds are now primarily found in high-elevation rainforests above 4,500 feet, where the cooler climate helps limit the spread of mosquitoes, the carriers of avian malaria and avian pox. Mosquitoes are ʻIʻiwi's most dangerous threat, as the species lacks natural immunity against these devastating diseases. Amidst the dense canopy of the Hawaiʻi Volcanoes rainforest, a silent creature clings to a tree branch. This is Jackson's chameleon, an invasive species originally from the highlands of Kenya and Tanzania, introduced to Hawaii in the 1970s. Within just a few decades, they have established wild populations across multiple islands, particularly Oahu, Maui, and Hawaii. Males are especially distinctive, sporting 3 prominent horns on their heads, reminiscent of the Triceratops dinosaur. These horns serve a primary role in territorial battles and courtship. Males will engage in head-to-head combat, attempting to push rivals off branches using their horned strikes. Their scaly bodies can change color, an ability not only for camouflage, but also for expressing emotions and regulating body temperature. Their eyes move independently, allowing them to scan nearly 360 degrees without shifting their position. When they spot prey, their tongue, nearly twice the length of their body, launches at lightning speed, using powerful suction to capture insects. Their diet primarily consists of native insects and even smaller reptiles, leading to disruptions in the island's delicate ecosystem. Amidst the endless expanse of black lava flows in Hawaiʻi volcanoes, pockets of green Kopuka forests emerge like miraculous ecological oases. These forest remnants exist due to nature's randomness. As lava flows around elevated terrain, it spares certain areas, leaving behind isolated ecosystems untouched by destruction. For at least 8,600 years, this isolation has fueled a strange evolutionary experiment, where life has adapted independently, untouched by external influences. The result is a world of its own, where many species have evolved in ways seen nowhere else on Earth. Hawaii is home to one of the highest rates of endemism on the planet. More than 7,500 native insect species have evolved from just around 250 original ancestors, an astonishing testament to adaptation's power. Each kapuka acts as a natural biological laboratory, where insects have evolved specialized traits to fully utilize the unique conditions of these isolated forests. High in the forest canopy, the Hawaiian woodpecker, one of Hawaii's rarest birds, tirelessly searches for food. With only about 1,000 individuals left in the wild, this species once thrived in ancient rainforests before volcanic eruptions fragmented their habitat. Now, they persist only in a handful of remaining kaikapuka, where rotting trees provide an abundant food source. However, with the spread of invasive species and habitat loss, the sound of their distinctive pecking grows rarer each year. Beneath the forest canopy, endemic plants continue their ancient life cycles. Unlike typical tropical forests, vegetation within kapuka is shielded from invasive seeds and competition from foreign species. Towering old-growth trees, giant ferns and rare plants flourish in the fertile volcanic soil, nurtured over millennia. Some kapuka are nourished by small streams, bringing life-giving water to the ecosystem, creating ideal conditions for the growth of rare species. As darkness retreats before the first light of dawn, Kapuka Kashas awakens from its peaceful slumber. No longer silent, the forest stirs with the first sounds of morning. The dawn chorus here is unlike any other place on Earth. It is a symphony of voices, as dozens of bird species each contribute their own song, weaving together a living symphony of nature. To the east, the sky brightens slowly, with light filtering through the dense canopy, touching the damp moss below. In this brief moment, a northern cardinal sings its first notes. At the same time, an ʻApapane lifts its voice in its unique melody. Their songs spread, rippling through the forest air. They are the first musicians of the Hawaiian Rainforest Orchestra, signaling to all that a new day has begun. As the light continues to spread, more birds join the chorus. Voices overlap, cascading from high branches to the forest floor. At the 18th minute, the forest's morning symphony reaches its crescendo. Dozens of ʻApapanes sing at once, dominating the soundscape. Their loud, powerful calls seem to fill the entire forest, transforming it into a vast amphitheater of sound. To the human ear, this moment is almost overwhelming. A dense wall of song, layered upon itself in a cascade of life. But then, just as it began, the chorus begins to fade. The flocks of ʻApapane disperse, setting out for the day's search for nectar. As their voices diminish, the other sounds of the forest become more distinct. Amid this relative quiet, the ʻElepaio sings, a gentle rhythmic tune, short yet unmistakable. Not far away, the ʻOma'o adds its deep, resonant calls, echoing between tree trunks. Lower in the canopy, the tiny ʻAmakihi joins the late morning chorus, its sharp, bright notes adding subtle accents to the now softening soundscape. Amidst the lush green foliage, a deep crimson blur flits between branches. An ʻApapane, one of the last surviving Hawaiian honeycreepers, perches gracefully, lifting its voice in a song uniquely its own. Each melodic note echoes through the forest, telling a story of evolution millions of years in the making. The ancestors of ʻApapane, along with many other honeycreeper species, descended from a single finch-like bird that arrived in Hawaii millions of years ago. Over time, they evolved to adapt to different ecological niches, creating one of the most diverse groups of birds in the world. At least 59 species of honeycreepers once thrived across the islands, but due to human impact, only 17 remain today. On Hawaii Island, where dense misty forests cover the slopes of Mauna Loa and Kīlauea, an estimated 1,080,000 ʻApapane flutter among the trees, their largest population across the Hawaiian archipelago. Smaller populations persist on Maui, Kauai, Molokai, Oahu, and Lanai. Their long, curved beaks are perfectly adapted for reaching deep into ohia lehua blossoms, extracting the nutrient-rich nectar that sustains them. However, they are not solely nectar feeders. They also hunt small insects and spiders, playing a vital role in regulating insect populations within Hawaii's rainforest ecosystems. As the black sand beaches and tropical rainforests fade into the distance, the road to the summits of Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea reveals an entirely different world. Gone are the lush green canopies, the crashing waves, and the vibrant sounds of a tropical ecosystem. Here, there is only the absolute silence of the alpine tundra. At elevations above 10,000 feet, temperatures plummet, winds howl across the barren slopes, and at times, snow blankets the vast landscape, creating an otherworldly scene in the heart of the Pacific Ocean. The climate here is harsher than anywhere else in Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park. Daytime temperatures may be mild, but after sunset, they drop rapidly below freezing. The extreme temperature fluctuations between day and night create an environment where only the most adaptable species can survive. The thin atmosphere at these altitudes means lower oxygen levels, making it more difficult for life to thrive. With relentless winds sweeping through, this becomes a severe test of endurance for any living organism that dares to exist here. Yet life finds a way. The plant life here consists mainly of low-growing shrubs, hardy grasses, and native flora uniquely adapted to nutrient-poor soil and harsh weather conditions. One of the few species that withstands this cold, arid environment is the ʻIʻiwi, a native tree that survives at high elevations. Its leaves provide a critical food source for a rare and remarkable insect, the blackburn's sphinx moth. The blackburn's sphinx moth, also known as the Hawaiian tobacco hornworm, is Hawaii's largest moth. With a wingspan of up to 5 inches, it is an impressive species, thriving in a harsh environment where few others can. Its larvae feed exclusively on the leaves of ʻIʻiwi, forming a rare ecological link between plants and animals in this otherwise sparse ecosystem. But the blackburn's sphinx moth faces an uncertain future. Its population has declined drastically due to habitat destruction, invasive plant species, and predation by introduced animals. As its natural habitat shrinks, each breeding season sees fewer individuals, pushing the species closer to extinction. Though the fauna here is not as diverse as in the lower elevations, the species that do survive are living testaments to nature's incredible resilience. There are no land mammals at this altitude, yet insects, birds, and native plants persist, defying the harshest conditions. Some endemic bird species visit during the summer months, foraging before retreating to lower elevations in winter. On these ancient volcanic summits, life follows a different rhythm. There are no forests for shelter, no freshwater streams, and no fertile soil for large trees to root. Only rock, wind, and a handful of species refuse to give up. Yet, In this seemingly inhospitable landscape, nature continues to work its magic. Despite constant challenges, Hawaii's alpine tundra remains an essential part of the greater ecological masterpiece that is Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park. It is a rare and fragile ecosystem, a world within a world, unlike any other on the planet. The sky blazes above Hawaiʻi volcanoes, where steam rises as molten lava meets the cool ocean breeze. Beneath this raw beauty lies an unforgiving battle for survival. The wildlife of the park faces relentless natural upheavals and the ever-growing impact of human activity. Global climate change is leaving a clear and lasting mark on Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park. The once thriving rainforests, home to native birds like the ʻIʻiwi and ʻApapane, are shrinking as rising temperatures alter their fragile ecosystems. Rainfall patterns have become unpredictable, affecting the growth of ohia lehua, the primary nectar source for many bird species. Worse yet, warmer temperatures have created ideal conditions for mosquitoes carrying avian malaria and avian pox to spread into higher elevations. Hawaii's native birds, which evolved without exposure to these diseases, are experiencing catastrophic population declines. Without natural immunity, many species are vanishing rapidly. The once brilliant red wings of the ʻIʻiwi, a symbol of Hawaii's rainforests, are becoming an increasingly rare sight. Beyond the volcanic slopes, climate change is also disrupting marine life. Rising sea levels and warmer ocean temperatures are affecting the nesting grounds of the green sea turtle and hawksbill sea turtle. The sandy beaches, where countless generations of turtles have returned to lay their eggs, are disappearing. Even more concerning, hotter sand temperatures are skewing hatchling sex ratios, producing an overwhelming number of female turtles, a threat to the species' future genetic diversity and population balance. It's not just climate change. Volcanic activity remains an unpredictable force shaping life in Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park. Lava eruptions from Kīlauea continuously reshape the landscape, destroying old habitats while creating new land. Entire forests are consumed by fire, forcing wildlife to flee in search of new shelter. The Hawaiian monk seal, one of the rarest seals in the world, sometimes loses its coastal resting sites as lava flows reach the ocean, altering shorelines and disrupting critical habitat. But perhaps the greatest threat comes from species that do not belong here. Invasive species like the Jackson's chameleon have quickly adapted and become a major threat to native insect populations, a critical food source for many species in Hawaii's rainforest ecosystem. Meanwhile, non-native plants like Hediotis are outcompeting native vegetation, reducing the availability of nectar and food for birds like the ʻApapane. These seemingly small shifts accumulate over time, gradually unraveling the delicate balance of the park's ecosystem. The presence of humans has also left an undeniable mark on Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park. Tourism, resource extraction, and infrastructure expansion have led to the loss of natural habitats. Roads cut through sensitive ecosystems, putting Nēnē, the native Hawaiian goose, at risk as they attempt to cross into their feeding grounds, often falling victim to vehicle collisions. In the ocean, plastic pollution poses a deadly threat to hawksbill sea turtles, which often mistake floating plastic bags for jellyfish, one of their primary food sources. Amidst the wild landscapes of Hawaiʻi volcanoes, life endures, pressing forward despite relentless challenges. From the misty upland rainforests to the lava-carved coastlines, wildlife continues to adapt, navigating the harsh realities of an ever-changing world. It is an ongoing struggle, a delicate tug-of-war between human progress and nature's resilience, searching for a balance between conservation and development. The invasive species control program is being actively implemented. Jackson's chameleon, an introduced reptile from East Africa, is being removed to prevent it from preying on native insects, which are a crucial link in the rainforest ecosystem's food chain. More than 12,000 individuals have been collected since 2010. Hoofed animals such as goats and wild boars are also being strictly controlled to protect valuable vegetation. Over 90% of native forests have been completely cleared of these invasive species. At the same time, the habitat restoration program for ʻIʻiwi and ʻApapane is being carried out by replanting ʻOhia lehua. More than 100,000 seedlings have been planted over the past decade to ensure a stable food source for these birds. Nesting areas for green sea turtles and Hawaiian monk seals are strictly protected, with limited human access. Volcanic activity monitoring efforts are being conducted by the Hawaiʻi Volcano Observatory to predict and mitigate the impact of eruptions on the ecosystem. Meanwhile, community awareness campaigns are being strengthened to reduce plastic pollution and protect coastal areas. Hawaiʻi Volcanoes is not just a natural wonder, but also a home to countless endangered wildlife species. Every small action can make a difference. Reducing plastic waste, respecting wildlife habitats, avoiding intrusion into protected areas, and participating in reforestation programs are practical ways to help preserve this ecosystem. Let's come together for a greener Hawaii for wildlife and future generations. If you have ever visited Hawaiʻi Volcanoes National Park, feel free to share your knowledge and experiences in the comments below. Your stories can serve as inspiration and motivation for conservation efforts and for preserving this ecosystem for future generations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to continue joining us on the next incredible adventures. Or you can continue following the survival journeys of wildlife in other regions at Wild Siberia, Survival Secrets of the Frozen Wilderness, or Wild Serengeti, Battle for Survival in Predator Territory.